digital ID system for Americans is now being rolled out, and Alaska is becoming the first testing ground. This ties in with changes being made to the state's My Alaska digital identity system, which is now being interwoven with artificial intelligence and payment functions. Now, according to a document from Alaska's Department of Administration's Office of Information Technology, as obtained by Reclaim the Net, it says, the state is considering implementing agentic artificial intelligence models within My Alaska application to enhance service delivery to users of the application. So, what does that actually entail? Well, one part would be to allow AI to complete applications, do eligibility checks, and complete, quote, multi-step government service transactions on behalf of users. But the plan actually goes further than this. They're looking to integrate biometric authentication. Think facial recognition, fingerprinting, and also have smart wallet integration in the app as well. Now, look, this has some benefits. It really does, mainly when it comes to efficiency, ease of use, especially security. It can do a lot of good to get rid of, theft and fraud, for example. But this also represents a problem of just overall consolidation. All of your info, your biometrics, your financial information, potentially even like your internet activity, your digital footprint, all collected in a single place and then monitored with an all-seeing artificial intelligence system working for the government that's going to look for anything and everything that's off. But this plan in Alaska, it's also raising concerns over potential abuses that have been seen in countries that actually already have similar systems. We can look, for example, at the Chinese Communist Party's social credit system, one of the worst case examples we see in the current state of the world. In China, under the communist regime, the system gives every single person a good citizen rating or a bad citizen rating. Get too low, and you even lose your ability to make payments in the digital currency. And because of that, you get to be homeless because you can't rent a home, you can't buy food, businesses won't hire you. The new gulag is being pushed out of the system itself. That is what it looks like. And hopefully that's not where this is leading to, but they are currently rolling out digital ID systems tied in with financial systems right here in the United States.
First and foremost, before we get started, I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Quadash, and double honors to those great millstone while learnt his truth, and also to those elect that are scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great and powerful lesson through the spirit of power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And the type of the lesson is Alaska Digital ID wallet will soon be mandatory globally. So I like to say shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope this help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, I have a news article here by Tech, and it reads, it's Alaska plots AI-driven digital ID wallet and biometric upgrade for My Alaska app. So we're seeing now that they're putting things in place, the implementation of digital ID. So now we're seeing now that they're starting it in Alaska, which in fact we know that Alaska is a part of America. And right now we're seeing now they're getting ready to do test run. Also, we know that it already has started in Canada. It's already had started in the UK, different other parts of the world. Also, we know about China and Sweden. It's already online, so their rollout will be the blueprint, China and Sweden. So that's what is getting ready to come to America and also to the entire world. This is getting ready to be global, digital ID globally. That's exactly what's getting ready to happen. So we said in the first video, the guy was talking about how Alaska is getting ready to upgrade, getting ready to change their system over. So we know that this digital wallet is going to be a work hand in hand with your financial system, which in fact the CBDC. All these things gonna work in hand, and also all roads lead to that what? Grain of rice. We already know what's going on in Sweet. They're already doing the microchipping there. It's gonna go under your skin. So we're seeing that it's obvious and clear that we're here. Revelation chapter 13 is jumping off the page in the middle of the Lord, starting once again with GMS. You know what I'm saying? Well, the 100% truth, they got it right once again, and seeing right now it's rolling out right before our eyes. So we know that we're very close to the family of the word, because the Lord is putting it right in your face. The Lord is doing a mighty work, and right now we're seeing that they're rolling it out. It's going to be dealing with your biometrics, your fingerprints, your face recognition, your carbon footprinting. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these things are coming into play. Already has it in China. Go back and look what China, their system, what they're rolling it out. So now we're seeing that now we're right upon this great reset. They're getting ready to reset everything. Shut this old system, bring this old system down, and bring in the new system, you know what I'm saying? Which in fact is going to be digital, programmable, and also implantable. That's what we constantly want. They got to get you this digital wallet. So once they give you this digital wallet, your money can be now programmable once you become a participant of this new digital infrastructure that they're putting into place. And out about the Lord already told us, do not take that grain of rice. So a lot of people, get ready to make a decision. A lot of people might think this is trending. A lot of people are going to be deceived by this new technology, these lying wonders, these counterfeits. That's why the Lord has set up watchmen to warn you of all these impending dangers. And also just going to work with transhumanism, man and the machine together. You know what I'm saying? Out of the body, make you a walking device. We go over these things left and right. So right here, Alaska is getting ready to roll it out. So, dealing with your digital ID, everything's going to be rolled into one. Your driver's license, your medical records, pretty much everything about you, your insurance. You know what I'm saying? When you buy and sell, all this is going to be rolled in on that. And if you're not going to be a part of it, they say that now that, it's voluntary, but we know that these things are going to be mandatory very soon. It's going to be a force upon you. If you do not be a participant, or if you do not consent, then you will be shut out of the system. You'll be shut out of society, and you're going to have to depend on who? Your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, and that is about the only one that will depend on him and will trust in him is the elect, the true believers of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. So now, we're seeing right now they rolling it out right before your eyes. Also, it's another rollout right there in Salt Lake City, Utah. He constantly rolling out. Let Satan get the advantage. He's trying to get that advantage, that 2030 agenda, but we already knowing that his hands would not perform his enterprise. So we're going to just read this first paragraph right here of this little news article I have. It said Alaska is exploring an ambitious upgrade to its My Alaska Citizen portal, said that would transform the existing Singer sign-on platform into a AI assist digital service hub with a built-in smart wallet and biometric authentication, said the State of Alaska Department of Administration Office of Information Technology has issued requests for information. So that's all we're going to get of this. So we're seeing right now they're doing a test run in Alaska that is getting ready to come to these 50 states. You know what I'm saying? Which in fact, that's what they'll do. They constantly gradually bringing in gradualism. Look that up. And, constantly slowly bringing it in. But we already knowing that what their main agenda is, the ultimate goal is that grain of rice. They want what? Total control. And we constantly warning you about it left and right. Why do we go over these things left and right? Because this is a major prophecy that you cannot get wrong, and you cannot take it. If you take it, you will be totally destroyed. You have to suffer the second death, which in fact is the lake of fire. And what is the lake of fire? America, Babylon the Great. And how will it become a lake of fire? Those IBCM missiles, this nuclear exchange that is coming very soon. And also we seeing what war is upon our shore. They saying any given day that they're going into what? Venezuela. So we're going to see what that is going to, what type of, what it's going to start. Could, Russia, could China get involved? We are going to see. But we already know that the Lord is in perfect control. The Lord is constantly moving the chess pieces around. We are so very close. Now we're coming at the end of 2025, going into the so-called New Year, which in fact we know that this is not the New Year. We're still in the dead of winter, but we already know that, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. So we know 2026 is already rumors that everything is going digital. Either you're going to be a part of their agenda or you will be unalive. It already speaks of that in Revelation chapter 13. And one thing about it, that, a lot of people beginning to see that, these men were telling the truth. Said when these things come to pass, these prophecy, when you go to Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 33, he said, then they shall know that a prophet was among them. The man that was telling you the truth, left and right, trying to bring you to the light. Trying to put you on the right path. And one thing about it, some will get it and some will not get it. The election has attained and the rest was blind. So right here, this is going to be dealing with your biometric. Once again, let's give a rundown, then we'll get a few presets. Then I have some more videos to bring it out with a little bit more edification. And once again, I hope you will get edified. It says here, the biometrics going to be dealing with your finger, your fingerprints, your palm, your face, face recognition, eye retina scan. It's going to be dealing with that. That's your biometrics right there to say that you saying that who you say you are. They want the identity, but we already know what this all about, to put you in a digital prison, this digital dictatorship. This man wants total control. He wants to be like the Most High, but he's imagining a vain thing. And also it's going to be dealing with carbon footprinting. And then at some point, when AI take over all these jobs, we beginning to see that. So when you go back and look at it, I'm going to do a lesson probably later on, maybe tomorrow in the night or whatever like that, about humanoid robots. And they move and act just like humans. I'm telling you, man, these lying wonders. And a lot of people are going to be deceived by this technology, this pseudoscience. This man is a liar. He's a counterfeit. And also he's a great deceiver. He's the devil that the Bible speaks of. And one thing about the men of the Lord, we're constantly shedding light. We're constantly exposing this red devil each and every day, which in fact is the modern so-called white man of today. And everybody, he is the most proud, but the Lord is getting ready to bring him very low. The Lord is getting ready to put him back in his first estate, which in fact is the original caveman, the base man of the earth, the scum of the earth. You can find more information on this red devil when you go to Job chapter 30, tell you about his characteristic and who he is today. One thing about it, we seeing that we're here. These things are right before so they are rolling it out in Alaska, so right now, really to tell you the truth, the beast system is here. And the only thing they have to do is implement it, so they they're going to bring this order out of chaos. They're going to start all sorts of calamity and chaos. We're constantly seeing it each and every day. We're constantly seeing these ICE patrol going into these major cities, going in, dragging people out of their houses and shit, arresting people with no reason. It's already here. It's right before your eyes. It's time to wake up. Time to, to get aboard. If you do not, you're going to be totally destroyed. The devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. In the middle of the Lord with constant warning. So now let's get 2 precepts. Then we're gonna go back to the videos. Let's go here. Let's go here to the blue letter, 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his device. And out about it, we already knowing that the physical counterpart of Satan, which in fact is the modern day so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. He said, he's trying to get that advantage, trying to bring forth his plan, his agenda. But he said, we are not ignorant of his device. Who is not ignorant of his device? The true believers of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, starting with the prophets, and also that great multitude that the Lord is going to deliver. And when you go into that word device, it goes into what? His mindset, his plot, his plan, you know what I'm saying? His agenda, you know what I'm saying? His scheme that he's trying to roll out, his evil plot. But one thing about it, that he's in for a rude awakening. So that's where we at right now. He's getting ready. He's trying to get that advantage. What is that advantage he's trying to get? The what? Total control, the NWO. But one thing about it, that, he is very useless what he's trying to do, because what? It's someone that is on high, you know what I'm saying? It's going to bring him low, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, the Lord's got to drop on him, you know what I'm saying? And the Lord said, I am from above, you are from beneath. So how in the hell are you going to pull this off? The Lord is not going to let you pull this off. The Lord is having fun right now. And everybody, he's getting ready to get busy. The Lord's getting ready to show up and show out. We cannot wait. The Lord's getting ready to do a mighty work. We see it right now. We're coming into these perilous times. We're coming upon Jacob's trouble. We're coming upon the hour of temptation. Get ready, because greatness is coming. The great and glorious return of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, it is at the door. So now, let's start today's the rest of these videos, and after the video, we'll start the lesson. Let's go back here. Let's play this again. Let's play this one again because it's very important. Got a lot of good meat on it.
A plan to create a digital ID system for Americans is now being rolled out, and Alaska is becoming the first testing ground. This ties in with changes being made to the state's My Alaska digital identity system, which is now being interwoven with artificial intelligence and payment functions. Now, according to a document from Alaska's Department of Administration's Office of Information Technology, as obtained by Reclaim the Net, it says, the state is considering implementing agentic artificial intelligence models within My Alaska application to enhance service delivery to users of the application. So, what does that actually entail? Well, one part would be to allow AI to complete applications, do eligibility checks, and complete, quote, multi-step government service transactions on behalf of users. But the plan actually goes further than this. They're looking to integrate biometric authentication. Think facial recognition, fingerprinting, and also have smart wallet integration in the app as well. Now, look, this has some benefits. It really does, mainly when it comes to efficiency, ease of use, especially security. It can do a lot of good to get rid of, theft and fraud, for example. But this also represents a problem of just overall consolidation. All of your info, your biometrics, your financial information, potentially even like your internet activity, your digital footprint, all collected in a single place and then monitored with an all-seeing artificial intelligence system working for the government that's going to look for anything and everything that's off. But this plan in Alaska, it's also raising concerns over potential abuses that have been seen in countries that actually already have similar systems. We can look, for example, at the Chinese Communist Party's social credit system, one of the worst case examples we see in the current state of the world. In China, under the communist regime, the system gives every single person a good citizen rating or a bad citizen rating. Get too low, and you even lose your ability to make payments in the digital currency. And because of that, you get to be homeless because you can't rent a home, you can't buy food, businesses won't hire you. The new gulag is being pushed out of the system itself. That is what it looks like. And hopefully that's not where this is leading to, but they are currently rolling out digital ID systems tied in with financial systems right here in the United States.
Carbon tax, a global price on carbon. For me, this is the end game for central bank digital currency. They have found a way to make carbon a commodity and give it a price. So I would expect that people would definitely question the science around the climate crisis, when it's given carbon a price that maybe it's a little bit more suspicious, and you might want to take a look at that. We are moving into a carbon credits system that can only be implemented through central bank digital currency and a digital ID. The digital ID will be rolled out within the next 12 months. 12 to 24 months will be the digital ID and the central bank digital currency. You have India, who have the Aadhaar digital ID. They're rolling out, they're piloting their central bank digital currency now in December. China already have it. Over 50% of the countries around the world are looking at it, piloting it. There is that overarching, beyond the social and the political fighting that's going on, there's an overarching financial reset that is the elephant in the room that nobody is actually talking about. That is going to be reset to social and carbon credits. Net zero is not about saving the planet. Net zero is about taking control of the food and the energy and finding a way to turn that into a currency. It will be done through carbon credits. Carbon credits is the new currency. It will be a combination of social and carbon credits.
So are you saying that's going to be the only currency? There won't be any other currencies? This will just be like the social credit system in China, where there's a score and people have to try and maintain that score or things like that? Like, is that it? There won't be anything else?
Well, that's the suggestion. When you think that from their point of view, there is too many people on the planet and not enough resources for these people. Now, there is enough resources. Saudi Arabia has enough oil for 500 years. There is enough food. There should not be any hunger in the world. There is enough food. It's politics that gets in the way of that. But if you're coming from a perspective that you think that there is not too many people and not enough energy resources, you either reduce the population or ration the energy resources, or both.
And what do you think they're choosing to do then?
Sweden just implanted microchips into people's hands, turning humans into walking wallets. No cash, no cards, no wallets. Thousands of people in Sweden have taken a bold step into the future by implanting tiny microchips under their skin. About the size of a grain of rice, these chips act as digital IDs, payment methods, and access cards. All in one, from letting them pay for coffee, unlock doors, or ride trains with just a swipe of their hand. It works much like the contactless tap we use on cards, but here, the card is under your skin. So why is this happening in Sweden? The country is already one of the most cashless societies in the world. Only about 1% of its economy runs on notes and coins, compared to 10% in Europe. Among the younger generation, almost everyone relies on apps and digital payments. Even IKEA tested going fully cash-free and discovered that hardly any customers use bills, saving staff hours of time that used to be spent counting coins. But not everyone is celebrating. Seniors and immigrants worry about being left behind, and critics warn of privacy risks if implants ever connect to health records or government IDs. Sweden is showing the world just how far digital life can go. But a question remains, would you put a chip in your hand to pay for coffee?
So now let's start today's lesson. So we're saying that now we are very close than ever before. So we'll start here first in Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12. So we're seeing now that, that they're rolling it out. And also, a lot of people don't, understand they're saying digital ID, but really what's going to be your digital ID is that RFID microchip, which in fact is the mark of the beast. So it's leading that, where it's a precursor leading to that. So, one thing about it, that's why they're trying to get everything digital so they can make it programmable. And also it's going to go what? Under your skin, to mean implantable. So you see, we're not ignorant of Satan's device. The Lord has set a watchman, to warn you of all these prophetic events that's going on around the world, left and right. And either you will hear or either you will forbear. It says here, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knowing that he has but a short time. So right now, we know that he's getting ready to roll it out, because he knowing that he has, he got bounds that he cannot pass, seeing that his days are determined. Now he's getting ready to roll it out with warp speed because the Lord has put the Spirit upon him. The Lord is getting ready to bring him down. Also, the Lord is getting ready to usher in the kingdom of heaven that dwells in right. And also, the Lord is getting ready to bring forth judgment like we have never seen before, for what? The controversy of Zion. So one thing about it, the Lord said, vengeance is mine, says the Lord, I will repay. So the Lord's getting ready to repay these red devils, what they did to the children of Israel. And one thing about it, no one has gotten away with a damn thing. You're getting ready to pay. We had to pay. You're getting ready to pay. So the cup is getting ready to pass on to these heathen nations, starting with Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. So when you go into that word devil, it goes into diabolos. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that a false accuser, someone that is slanderous, someone that is doing the bidding of Satan, the spiritual demon Satan. You know what I'm saying? Doing his bidding, left and right. Because he is the physical counterpart of Satan. That's who he worship each and every day. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about, man, we're here, man. We constantly warning you left and right. So, woe to the inhabitants of the sea, talking about the people. And also rejoice ye heaven, talking about what Israel, it's time to rejoice because we are very close. Our salvation is at the door. The Lord is getting ready to come to deliver us with great glory and great power. So we see in these last final days, these last days are playing out right before our eyes. And one thing about it, we got to stay, locked in. We got to stay prayed up. We got to redeem the time wisely because the Lord is getting ready to do a mighty work. We constantly warning you left and right. Let's go here. Let's go here to Isaiah chapter 19, because a lot of people right now, you're seeing in several cities, like the UK, Australia. What's the other one? I think of the other one in a minute once I pull this up. So much, so many things that's going on. And one thing about the Lord, I pray to the Lord each and every day to give me that balance to constantly do his will each and every day, because this stuff is constantly coming, man. If you don't have the Holy Spirit dealing with you, you will not be able to do do the works of the Lord. Hey, you can't do it by yourself. You think you're going to do your own will. We all are doing the will of Yahweh, whether it's good or bad. It says here, and I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight every one against his neighbor. Let me start over at the top again, just in the spirit. Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 2 said, and I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. So that's exactly what's going to happen. A lot of people is not going to comply, not going to consent. If they're going to buck up against this system, it's going to cause all sorts of sedition, insurrection, also civil unrest, civil war, exactly. That's what he already has these so-called ICE patrol, which in fact I'm thinking they are undercover sleeper cells also, and also undercover UN troops. So he already got things into place, but the Lord already said when the enemy come in like a flood, the Lord is going to lift up the standard. So the Lord got everything, on lock. The Lord is already way ahead of this red devil that he created. He wants to be like the Most High, but he is a mere man. He is the original caveman. He is the beast man. He is the wild man. Also, he is the wicked that the Bible speaks of, and the Lord is getting ready to destroy his ass and put his ass into slavery, for 1,000 years. Then he will be not known forever. We cannot wait. So we're seeing right here, it's going to be all sorts of chaos in every city. We're seeing what happening in the UK, seeing what's going on in I think Australia. They're bucking up against it. It's another one. I can't think of it. So many different cities, Spain, different other places. They're bucking up against it because they knowing that this is total control. They know they're not going to have any rights, no freedom. So one thing about it, this will lock you into this digital prison. Also, it's going to make you a petrol slave. Give you that badge of servitude, which in fact is the mark of the beast. So it's going to be all sorts of chaos, rioting, looting, You know, it's a graping, you know, all sorts of things is coming. But the Lord's getting ready to come back and set up that righteous order. So that's where we at. And also we know that the modern day Egyptians are the Americans. So we seeing right now America is divided and it cannot stand. We seeing it left and right. And right now we at the point of no return. This place is getting ready to be totally destroyed. UN troops getting ready to come in. This place is going to get invaded. Even though this man is talking about going to Venezuela, but we already know we on our last leg. America is finished. This place is getting ready to be totally destroyed. We would have healed Babylon, but she will not be healed because the Lord is getting ready to destroy this place off the face of the earth. He's getting ready to burn this place with that fervent heat, those IBCM missiles, and also that laser and chariot fire that going to come from what? Yahweh Ba'ashim Abishai. So now let's go here to Revelations. Let's go here to Revelation chapter 13. Let's get a little of this because this is where we at, man. Let's go here to Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. We go straight to the point today. Let's go here. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. He said, he causes all, both small, great, rich, and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark to charagma in their right hand or in their forehead. So this technology is already here. So it's starting with what? The digital ID, which in fact the digital ID is going to really be full blown when they put the RD microchip with it, because that's exactly what it's getting ready to have. They starting it. We're at the beginning stages of this chip. You know what I'm saying? Out the back, because it's going to be the last piece of it. We see it right now. They're bringing it in. Oh, it's digital ID. You have to, you know, it's very convenient, very safe. Just, you want you to go ahead and comply because we changing over to a new system. It's very convenient, it's very safe. And after that, then on down the line, they're going to tell you go out to have this chip in you to be able to buy or sell, which in fact, they're already using it in that format already that you will not be able to buy or sell right now. And you know what I'm saying? We know that chip is coming and it's fast approaching. And we're constantly warning you left and right. And also, it's going to be globally, not only in America, around the world. You know what I'm saying? Because they want what? Total control. These what? Global elites, the international bankers. But out about they're in for a rude awakening. So we're seeing right now, it's going to be dealing with your transaction, everything that you do. You can't work. You can't go to, you can't buy your favorite, whatever items you want to buy. You know, nothing. You can't do anything. You will be cut out of society. It's going to be a cashless society. Your money's getting ready to be obsolete, even though you might have a couple of 100,000, might have millions in a safe. But guess what? It's getting ready to be obsolete. They're going to tell you turn that money in and give you these digital tokens. Everything's getting ready to be tokenized. And one thing about it, hey, man, we're here, man. That's what we're constantly warning you about. And once they do that, you will have no control. Everything will be in their hand. But one thing about it, the elect, we're going to fall in the hands of who? Yahweh Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai. The Lord will protect us. The Lord will provide for us. We don't have anything to worry about. Verse 17 says, and that no man might buy or sell, say he had the mark, the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And that about it, hey, that's what we had right now. You know, we seen that last video. It shows you that applicator, you know what I'm saying, that put that, you know what I'm saying, that rice, a grain of rice into your skin. See, that's where we at. It's coming to that. You will not be able to buy or sell without the digital ID. Also, it's going to work hand in hand with the CBDC and also that RFD microchip, the ultimate goal, total control. So that's where we at right now. So this system right here is putting into place the number of his name, that system, the image of the beast, that system they're putting into play, the beast banking system. Also is going to be dealing with what? Blockchain technology. That's where we at right now. So everything is coming full circle. We already know they have face recognition in certain retail stores in America already. It's going to get worse and worse, whereby you would not be able to enter the store if you don't have the digital ID and also the RFD microchip. So that's where we at right now. Verse 18, here is wisdom. Let him that has understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 scores and 6. So it's going into that badge of servitude, Chi Stai stigma, you know what I'm saying? So he's getting ready to try to make you a petrol slave, total control, you know, put you in these 15-minute cities. And also, if you do not accept, you will be put to death, you know, these guillotine. And I can't think one executive was talking about bringing back hanging. I think it was, I don't know, it was the CEO of, what's that company? I can't think of the name of that company, but anyway, he's talking about bringing it back hanging. Also, we know about when you get around to it, look up the Noahide laws and stuff. So that's where we at right now. So these things are right before our. So now let's get our last and final script. Let's go here to 2nd Ezra chapter 16. We'll close out here. 2nd Ezra chapter 16. So we seeing that now that it is here. All they have to do is pretty much, the implementation is going out right now. You know, Alaska, Salt Lake City, Canada, Mexico. So right here, we already know 2026 is going to bring it in. It's already telling you about things are going digital. So I came up to see my mom, I think a couple of days ago. They always get him she get Social Security, but I seen a letter whereby that, that Social Security is getting ready to go digital in 2026. So I should have put it up on a short, showed y'all that. But so we seeing now that things are getting ready to go fully digital. Your fiat currency is getting ready to be obsolete. Also, these coins, these quarters, nickels, and dimes, we already know that they stopped printing pennies. They also going to stop printing the rest of it also. So gradually bringing it in, they're moving in warp speed. The devil's getting ready to come down with great wrath. And that's because he knowing that he has a very short time. So he's coming with his military. He's coming with his technology. You know what I'm saying? He's coming with all sorts of wickedness and idolatry. One thing about it, we got to trust and believe in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. So now start here. 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 67 said, Behold, God himself is the judge. Fear him. Leave off from your sins and forget your iniquities, to meddle no more with them forever. So shall God, I don't like to say God, but we know God is just a title, you know what I'm saying? I only mean power, you know what I'm saying? The Elohims, but out of the body, the Almighty lead you forth and deliver you from, it says, and lead you forth and deliver you from all troubles. So one thing about it, that's what the Lord would, do for the elect, in a time of trouble. The Lord is going to, deliver us from all these different things that's coming upon this earth, left and right. It's called, we constantly trust and believe in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. Don't meddle in these things, constantly, walk in the path of righteousness. Lean not on your own understanding, but trust and believe in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. I hope that I didn't confuse anyone. Verse 68 said, For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idols with things offered to idols. So everybody, we seeing a great multitude is kindled over. We seeing also different warships in the Caribbean, seeing warships in the Arctic Circle, also warships in the Pacific, all around us, and also these sleepers here right here in America, that burning wrath of a great multitude. They here already. You know what I'm saying? They shall feed you things being idle. What's that idle? It's that digital ID. That's what RFD microchip. These things are coming. We constantly warn you left and right. Feed you things being idols. You're saying to things offered to idols. Also, being idols, being put you into a prison. The devil should cast some of you into prison. But one thing about it, we're gonna trust and believe in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, even if it ends in death, because we know that a crown of life is waiting on us. Immortality, rulership, spiritual power. Verse 69 says, And they that consent to them shall be had in derision, and reproach and trodden underfoot. And out of the body, you're gonna be, a disgrace. If you take this Karagma, this mark of the beast, this digital ID, this some people gonna take it, but that's not initially the mark, but the mark is the RFD microchip. If you put that chip under your skin, you are going to die. We constantly warn you left and right. You're going to be had in derision. You're going to be had in reproach and trodden underfoot. That means that you will be totally destroyed. Verse 7 said, For there shall be in every place and in the next city a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. So one thing about it, in every place, in the next cities, we seeing that right now with these ICE patrol, coming in left and right, if you don't have the right condition, they coming in, dragging you out of the house, they picking up people, pretty much people of color, the Negroes, the Latinos, the Native Indians, Jacob's trouble. That's what we constantly warning you about. It has begun. Started with the northern tribe, but it's getting ready to spill over into what? The southern tribe. But guess what? But we know that Jake is going to get it popping. Who shall rise him up? When you go to Genesis chapter 49, I think around verse 8. Amen. We're here. Verse 71 said, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Who fear the Lord? The elect. You know what I'm saying? The true believers of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Abishai. So we seeing right now the ICE patrol, you know, they're like madmen right now, but it's going to get worse. These UN troops going to come in. These sleeper cell, also these Gurga troops, these super soldiers. But one thing about it, but the Lord is going to lift up a standard, a way to escape. Supernatural intervention is getting ready to take over. You know, the Lord's getting ready to do a mighty work. We get ready to see some amazing things. So like it. It says here, verse 72 said, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their house. So it's going to be a lawless time. People are going to be robbing, stealing, and killing because they're not going to have resources. They're not going to have water. Not going to have anything. It's going to be a lawless time. People are going to be just like wild animals. It's not going to be any type of control. No police. No help. You know what I'm saying? Only help will come from Yahweh Ba'ashim Abishai if you are part of the election. Verse 73, and the Lord is only dealing with the election, the house of David. It says here, verse 73, said, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. That is the elect, the true believers of Yahweh Ba'ashim Abishai. You're going to know in that day who the Lord is truly dealing with. We cannot wait. Verse 74 says, hear, O ye my beloved, says the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. So the Lord's getting ready to deliver you. Don't give a damn what's going on. The Lord said He's going to deliver His elect from one end of heaven to the other, because we were scattered in all nations. But the Lord's getting ready to show up. That's why He said, look for the brightness of my coming. That fathership is going to come from the east to the west with great glory and great power. We cannot wait. Rejoice, ye heavens. Verse 75 said, be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai is your guide. So we're going to trust and believe in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Even though we know that they're getting ready to roll it out. We know that they're getting ready to bring that, to implement this RFD microchip. You know what I'm saying? A time of trouble that we have never seen before. Revelation chapter 3 and 10, you know, the hour of temptation, you know, but the Lord said He will deliver you because you kept the faith. I might well get it, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to, you know, just a butchery. Let's just go get it. We'll close out here. Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. Let's close out here because we're coming upon the hour of temptation, the hour of testing. The Lord's getting ready to test you. He's getting ready to try you. And the only one that is worthy is what? The election. The one that will not bend a foe. We'll go to our death. Our lives are not important because we're getting ready to go into our immortality, spiritual power. You know what I'm saying? Rulership. We're getting ready to have it going on very soon. We win in the end. Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10, and through much tribulation, ye shall enter the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. Let's get this last precept and we'll close out. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, because you have suffered through all the affliction, all the adversity. So I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world. It's going to be globally. It said to try them that dwell upon the earth. So it's going to be a testing period that's going to come upon us. The Lord's going to try everyone. Your faith is going to be tried. The Lord's getting ready to find out who is worthy. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is getting ready to max your faith out. But one thing about it, the one that will stand for righteousness, that will stand for, for Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai is the elect, the true believers of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, which in fact is the house of David. And one thing about it, we're here. It is at the door. The Lord is getting ready to return. We're seeing that things is happening left and right. Prophecies are happening one behind another. And one thing about it, we are so very excited. We are rejoicing. We know that the Lord is getting ready to return. We know that things is getting ready to come back right size up. And one thing about it, we know that kingdom that we'll be longing for forever. You know what I'm saying? It's getting ready to come upon us, which in fact is the kingdom of heaven. We're seeing that transition to power. We're seeing that these These Gentiles are at their end. You know, the times of the Gentiles are almost fulfilled. And one thing about it, we get ready to go to our final rest, which in fact is the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. So the title of the day lesson, once again, is Alaska digital ID wallet will be mandatory globally. So I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.